it. But where is the bus? Is this the only one?
Matatay. Hawak ko mo ito sa zoom out ko siya.
Hindi natin na-expect na matadaanan natin yung gas. Oo, siguro. Gasa pa ba yan?
Burn. Border na yun, oh. Yung mga may sasakyan. Tumatawid yung ano. Border ng Gaza tsaka Israel. Kasi hanggang dyan na lang yung ano eh. Yung daan. Parang nag-grab. Kaya nga. Ba't ganito? Parang ang masukal. Hi people. Welcome. Sana all bago yung phone.
Ano kung ganyan?
iPhone 15 Pro.
Max.
Magkano? Pro Max?
Pro Max?
Wow. Ba talaga ang card ha?
Lagi.
Naka-video pa.
Na-video yun, hindi kayo edit.
We're gonna look at some of the plots, some citrus plots that belong to Sagi Araba. a good friend of mine and a client, and I advise him on what to grow. He grows mostly lemons. We will see also some oranges. Okay, citrus are subtropical fruit. It is possible to grow citrus in most of your areas. I think Uganda has a citrus. The people from Uganda. I think you have citrus growing. The biggest citrus growing in Africa is of course South Africa. Because they grow it a little bit higher on the mountains. The citrus prefer when it gets a little bit colder in winter. Most of your areas, the temperature, you don't really have summer and winter. The temperature is pretty much the same, which is very typical of tropical areas. But if you go a little bit further, you get the difference between hot and cold. Okay, and because now citrus prefer when it's a little bit cold, like we have here in Israel. This is good for them. This little bit cold, it encourages flowers. If they don't have cold at all, it's more difficult to make them bloom. Now, as you can see, we are in springtime. The trees are full of young growth. Love you. And especially in citrus, in this time, this is when the young leaves come out and bloom. Okay. Now I know you learned a little bit about training the trees, right? Okay. I want you to pay attention. This is a very young orchard. Look around you. The distance between the trees is approximately 3 meters. Okay, you can measure it. Stand on line with the trunk. Can you move? And I will take these three big steps, 3 meters. And if you want to measure the distance between the rows, it will be 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So this orchard, we say simply so that we can interact, we call this a 3 by 6. Okay, 3 meters between the trees, 6 meters between the rows. Why do I need more distance between the rows than between? For the tractor, exactly. When this orchard will be fully grown, what I want is a distance of approximately 2 meters here in the middle. I need the 2 meters, which is a little bit longer than me, for the tractor to come back. I don't want the trees closing on the tractor, because if they close on the tractor, spraying is ineffective. Need some distance for the droplets to spread. Not just, mostly for pesticides, but not just for pesticides, okay? So we also spray some fertilizer, we spray hormones. You learned about plant hormones, right?
Yes.
Okay, so excellent. Look at this lemon. You see this lemon is a little bit yellow and a little bit green. Okay? These lemons are naturally all green, all yellow by January. If I don't treat them, the yellow will turn orange. And the people in Israel, it varies from different countries, but the people in Israel, they think that lemons have to be yellow. They will not buy a lemon if it's green. They will not buy a lemon if it's orange. So we use plant hormones. I spray these fruit with gibberellin. Do you remember?
Yes.
Gibberellin maintains the green color in lemons. It slows down the rate of degradation. You get the yellow color in lemons, or the orange color in oranges. Yes. You will see it when the chlorophyll, okay, the photosynthetic part, when it degrades, then you will see it. Okay, I can also take fruit like this, if I take it into the packing house, and I will expose it to a high level of CO2. high level of CO2 will cause the fruit to secrete ethylene. Ethylene is also a plant hormone.
Alright.
It mostly does the opposite from gibberellin. Ethylene will do something that we call degreening. It will remove the greening, all the green from the outside, and then I will get, even though I picked the orange, I can pick the orange green. If I do the degreening, if the orange is mature enough, then I will get an orange color. If it's not mature, I will remove the green and I will get a yellow orange. But I cannot, if the orange on the tree didn't get enough, it wasn't mature enough, it didn't get enough cold, it cannot create the orange color. I cannot create the orange color in the packing house. I can only expose it by removing the green. Okay? Okay, excellent. Also, I want you to notice here, all citrus in Israel and most citrus in the world are grown. Can you spread it a little bit so that everybody can see?
Yes.
Okay? All our trees are grafted.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
All our trees are grafted. There's a variety. You see the point? Can you see the point? You see the difference? You see the difference between this, the shape here, and the shape here? This is the point of the graft. Everything that grows from here, these branches, will grow a different kind of lemon. This in this case, a different lemon. It can be an orange, it can be something else. In this case, it's a different lemon. Remember I told you about the orange color?
Yes.
The lemon that grows from here, all of it turns orange. It's an okay lemon, but it turns orange, nobody buys it. So we use it as a rootstock. The rootstock, we choose the rootstock for various qualities. Sometimes we choose a rootstock that protects from pests or certain diseases, especially soil diseases. Sometimes the rootstock will affect the maturity of the fruit. In this case, this rootstock makes bigger lemons. Okay, bigger oranges too, but these are lemons. Bigger lemons means more crop. Okay, a bigger lemon is also heavier, and we sell them by the ton. Okay, so we graft them. But when you graft the trees, it's also very important to remove all of these. Okay, you have to remove them. The general rule in citrus in Israel, we keep the lowest 50 centimeters clean. We cut off everything. Above 50 centimeters, we start to grow our own variety. Okay? We do this to avoid branches coming from the rootstock, and also we don't want a situation where you see if this is heavy, it will bend down, but it doesn't reach the ground. If this is heavy, it will bend down, but it doesn't reach the ground. I don't want a branch that when the fruit is heavy, will touch the ground. I don't want my fruit on the soil. It will reduce quality. It will be exposed to different pests. Some animals will come and take a bite. Lower quality fruit. Also, it makes it easier for me when I'm using a tractor for weed control to spray underneath the tree. You see, this is sprayed and this is not. I take care of all the weeds close to the tree, so there will not be competition. Okay? I want to prevent all the weeds close to the tree to prevent competition. This weed here is small, shallow roots. It does not compete with such a big tree. So it can grow, I don't care. Okay? You see them all chopped up because we mulch everything that we cut. Okay? It's possible. To my purpose, this is what I'm looking for. But sometimes I get a big branch like this, and you see there are no flowers along this branch. There will be a few flowers here at the top. Maybe later. Okay? But when I have a long branch like this and I get flowers only at the top, the weight will cause it to swing like a pendulum.
Yes.
And it scratches the fruit. I get lower quality fruit. So I don't want it. I simply cut it off. Okay? Citrus are very fond of little cuts. They don't like it when you cut big parts, but they like it when you wake up every morning and you say, hello, this one, what are you doing? They like it when you take good care of them. Okay? Every place that I cut like this will now that the cut itself is a signal for the plant for new growth. At the end, at the point of connection between the leaf and the branch, there is a point of growth. It will now grow side branches, and these side branches will bloom in about a month or two. There will also be more side branches than one long one. So I will get fruit. This is the purpose. I am always balancing between the growth that I want and the fruit that I want. It's like all women in the world have to balance between children and career. It's the same. These are my women, and I'm trying to get them to get only children. Okay? Excellent. Now, if you can see all these trees have been trained when they were younger into the shape of a palm. You see? Each one has, here, come around this way. When the tree is young, sometimes in the nursery, we ask them to cut the trees at a certain height, about 70 or 80 centimeters. If they didn't cut it in the nursery, we cut them when we plant them. We cut the top. When we cut the top, just like over there, it will cause branches to grow sideways. So when they cut the top here, I got one branch here, one branch here, one. 5 branches. Okay? Just like your fingers. If you place your palm like this, okay? It's not exactly a human hand, but it's not far. See? This is my thumb, this is my pinky, and 3 fingers. And the center is a hole. This hole allows light to enter on the inside of the tree. If I do not allow light to enter here, this part without light will dry up, okay, and it will not produce flowers, and it will not produce branches, okay. It will just grow bigger, and I will have fruit only on the outside of the tree. I don't want that. I want fruit all inside the tree. Now, in Israel, specifically, we have way too much radiation. We have way too much light for citrus. Even now, in winter, there is plenty of light for them. So I know I have spare leaves, I have spare branches, and even this amount of light is enough to have flowers here inside, and I will have a more fruitful tree. We also cut the branches in this way. It's like we have a big pie, and we cut a slice out of it. Okay, you see all the branches coming here? Everything coming here, we cut it. Because when this tree will grow, we will see old, bigger trees soon. When I want to spray with a tractor, the spray can only penetrate about 50, 60 centimeters of the leaves. So if I let it grow whole, from here, remember I told you I want 2 meters here, so the tree is gonna grow, they're gonna reach over there. If I let it grow whole, it will spray 60 centimeters from here, 60 centimeters from there, and I will have 2.5 meters in the middle with no spray. Not good. All the pests will go over there. It's very nice over there. It's quiet, no pesticides, no problems. Okay, so we cut a slice out. We have a door into the tree. Also, when you go to pick, where are the people who work in Sarfati? Sarfati? The trees. Before we plant them, we have to think about what they're going to be when they grow older. I will show you a few mistakes that are done here where that people did not think properly. Okay, I'll give you, for example, you remember the distance between the trees and the rows here?
Yes.
Yes, you remember 3 by 6. I recommend 4 by 7. This is too close. Now, if you look now, you will say, rubbish, look, there's plenty of room. What are you talking about? Everything is full of flowers. I get a lot of crop. And in the first few years, that's true. But citrus trees are grown for 50 years. The tree is not going to stay like this. It's going to grow. And when it grows, you will have a lot of problems. We will see them in a minute. Questions? No? Everything good?
Yes.
Everything good. Excellent. Now, the bus turned around? That's okay, don't worry. We're going to walk on foot. You see the shade over there? You see the black more healthy growth. This is not. You see the difference? You see how the plant that is sick, the leaves are turning down, they're curling.
Yes.
Okay. Now you look at the bottom side. You see those little green spots? You can pass it around. You see them all? One for you, pass them around. Young trees, they have relatively a few leaves. I want to protect them. But if we find this amount of aphids in the orchard over there, see the one, it is 10 years older, I don't care. The damage they do is insignificant. It's not worth the money to spray. The ability to know when not to spray is very important. If you know when not to spray, it will save you a lot of money. It's always easy to kill everything, but then you do it again and again and again and again and again. All right?
Yes.
You all understand?
Yes.
Excellent. Also, the flowers and the young leaves are the most sensitive part of any plant. Okay? They are always susceptible, just like babies. Okay? They don't have that much protection. So, lots of insects say it's springtime, it's time to feed. Some feed on the leaves like the aphids, some feed on the flowers. This flower is normal. This flower is already dry. Now, is it dry because it is sick or is it dry because it is pollinated? We need to check. I remove the antlers and you can all come closely and see. You can see something is eating it. I have a bit of sawdust here. You want to come and see? This is a moth. You can see it is eating here. You see it made a hole in the flower. This is the citrus flower moth. It eats the flowers. After it eats the flowers, there will not be any fruit. Okay? And there is the little bastard. Okay? It's a moth. The adult has wings. It can fly. Okay? All moths can fly. They fly at night. It's a very small moth. The adult is about this. The adult is about this big. It's very gray. It's not very interesting. I can show you pictures. But we don't care a lot about the adults. We care about the caterpillars. Okay? Now, I can assume from my experience that if I find one and I have plenty of flowers, I need to protect the rest of my flowers. So when I want to treat the aphids, I will make sure to put something also to take care of the moth. If I'm lucky, I can find one chemical to do both. If not, I have to remember to put 2. Okay? It's good to try and see the whole picture. Alright?
Yeah.
Well, you can look at the plant and see if the plant is thirsty. You can check the weather and calculate. You heard how to calculate with evapotranspiration?
Yes.
Yes, good. So we can look at the weather and calculate. But it's also important to make sure that you go to the field and check the soil. You need to check the soil and see if you made the calculations properly. Unfortunately, the roots are in the ground, so you cannot see them. We will dig. This is a soil auger. The difference between just digging is that when I remove it, I will also have a sample of the soil. Okay? I can take it out. Now you see this soil, it's very dry. It easily falls apart. It's also because you can see it's a very simple tool. You can build it yourself. Okay, now this soil is a little bit deeper. See, it's still dry, but look how easily I can make the shape. It means there's some more water here. See the little white spots? Well, you have to help him work a little bit. Make him not suffer. A little bit of stress. Okay? It is clear. There, you can relax. Okay? Safe. If something happens, here the siren. Okay, look at the shape here. See? You see the shape of there? That's how when you turn it, you collect the soil here.
Highland. Ay, masukal eh.
This orchard is also the same distance like the young one, 3 by 6. You can measure the distance between the trees. The only difference is that this orchard is older. Now look, you easily see 2 meters. It's here, but it's not easy, right? I have to cut it every year. This branch is damaged by the tractor. Every time the tractor comes here, it damages the branch. This branch will not produce any fruit. It may be a point of access for diseases and pests because it's a point of weakness in the tree. Okay, so this branch needs to be removed. We have to do this every year, sometimes several times a year, because the tree wants to grow. The only thing that will stop the tree from growing is if it has a heavy load of fruit. Remember the example I gave you with women? It's the same. A pregnant woman will usually work. Okay? It's difficult. It's a lot of effort on her body, but she will go to work. But if she had 3 babies inside, she will probably stop working sooner because it is too difficult. Okay? Again, this is the point where we want to bring the tree. We want to bring the tree to what we want, okay? The biggest yield possible, that it will slow down the growth. I don't want to stop the growth completely, because I always want some new growth. The new growth is the one with the flowers. I always want some new growth. I don't want to kill the tree, but I want it to be so full of fruit that it doesn't want to grow much more. That's why we do the training. Okay? Remember, I told you, long branch like this. See? Again, has a few flowers here, but here, has a few flowers here, we'll cut it here. Now it will be stronger, but will not bend down. You see, it got hit so many times, it only produced one flower. All the others have a lot of flowers. Branches grew too big, and they stop us from seeing.
Lama. Buti na lang walang ano.
Look at all these branches I'm taking out. They have no flowers on them. Easily 2.5 meters. No fruit. I don't want these branches. Now, I didn't cut it very nicely, but now you can see the opening. It's the same door like over there, only it wasn't kept. The farmer needs to come in here and do these cuts like I did to maintain the door. Okay? Look at a branch like this. It doesn't come out from the bottom, but it is also has powerful growth. It has about 1.5 meters. Again, no flowers. No flowers. Too much growth. Remove. I can remove a branch all the way. Sorry. I can cut it all the way to the tree. Or if I want to cut it all the way to, if I cut it all the way to the tree, I'm trying to stop it from growing completely. Okay? If I cut it only over there, then I want it to split. I want to slow down the growth. I want to split. Another option is to take a branch like this. See? Also powerful growth. I want to change it from growth to fruit. I bend it. You know what happens when you bend the branch? You also learned about it. The top part over here, the growth part over here, produces another plant hormone. Okay? Auxin. This plant hormone slows down the branch and it inhibits growth from the side. And then the branch will grow to the top. Okay? If I bend it, I am disturbing the flow of auxin. It spreads out, and then branches from the side get less auxin. They say, okay, it's my time. Now I can grow to the side. And when they grow to the side, they are not as powerful growth as the original branch, so they bloom and they produce fruit. This is what I want. In deciduous trees, we do this. We bend a lot of branches and we tie them on wires. But it is very expensive to put a lot of wires and tie them down. In citrus and in many subtropical fruit, we have so much growth. Instead of making such a big effort to bend it, we just cut what we don't like and what's left is okay. Because I get a lot of branches. An apple tree will produce.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's far away. An apple tree will produce 4 or 5 branches like this in the first 2 years of life. A citrus tree will produce 500. So it's easier to cut. It's cheaper, faster. Still possible. The plant principle is the same. I can bend them. It's just more expensive. Okay? Once I have access, I have short branches like this. Okay? These branches will bear fruit. They don't have strong growth. They have short growth and they produce flowers and produce fruit. If I have enough of them, I will stop the growth of the tree. Okay? But as you can see here, and this tree is just an example, all the trees, look behind you, look how much new leaves you can see. These trees are very vigorous growers, especially lemons, especially this variety is called Eureka. It's got a long shape, very beautiful looking lemon, very vigorous growth. This is why I recommend people to plant lemons bigger spaces, 4 by 7, not 3 by 6. When they're small, it looks like you didn't put enough trees. I want to pick more lemons, but they grow quickly. This orchard has been too narrow for more than 3 years now. What I recommend for this farmer to do is to remove every second tree. But it is very difficult to do mentally for a farmer to come to a fruiting tree and cut it down. It's not easy. But you remember, citrus trees are grown for 40, 50 years. There are some orchards, lemon orchards that I take care of, they are older than me. And this young orchard, if all goes well, it will bury me. It will bury my children. Okay? We grow them for very long periods of time. And on a long period of time, the tree goes from this to the next plot, which is even older. Okay? This is why cutting trees is very important. You can see most of these trees, they look a bit like squares, right? This is because we use mechanical cutters. Big machines on tractors, big wheels, and they just cut like this, call this topping, skirting, cutting the girls' skirts, okay? And on the sides. Heel.
Spacious. Yeah.
It's much more spacious than the other one, right?
Yes.
I don't have that many trees here. Measure the distance. Let's measure the distance together.
10 meters.
From center to center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus. Okay? Let's see. Measure the distance between the trees.
4 by 7.
74.
But when this orchard started, a long time ago, we had more trees. It became too close. It became so dense. The trees grew inside one another and they created a lot of shade, even more than the one we saw over there. The orchard we saw over there, it is still possible to maintain it by cutting a lot of manpower, okay? A lot of work, but still possible to maintain it and enter and help a lot of sunlight enter inside so it is still fruitful. But the older it grows, the thicker the branches, the more difficult it gets. At some point, we simply have to remove trees. What they did here is they took out a tree, every second tree. We cut out 50% of the trees here. What you get, when they get to this side, I don't need to cut over here anymore. The end purpose in agriculture is not to have a beautiful green field. The end purpose is to produce yield and to be able to sell it. first year we cannot harvest the crop. First year is not. Second year is the first crop. Okay, second year from planting. So the tree is 4 years old. Okay, it's a very small crop, and then at age 5 is the first proper commercial crop. These trees are 5. The first commercial crop was the one that we had this year. Okay? Now, first of all, you can see this farmer cares about wheat. He wants everything to be very clean. Some farmers decide that everything has to be wheat free. For this farmer, when he sees this, he says, oh yeah, I have to take care of the weeds. For me, I don't care. I like weeds in the middle. I think it's good for the tree. Okay? But we're not here to discuss the weeds. Okay, I want to say this is a very early variety. You can see these tiny new leaves. They are going to bloom. They are going to bloom in about 4 to 6 weeks. And oranges, unlike lemons, will bloom once. So this bloom is very important to us.
לא, אחד אני חייב להיות שמה. אבל אנחנו כבר 12 דקות.
5 minutes pa raw. Time. Hour. Oo. Alright. What is this? What are these? I know, no.
Okay, I just wanted to show you this. This is a special kind of citrus. This is the citron. Citron. It is one of the 3 oldest citrus from which all citrus come from. Okay, all the different. Lemon is a close relative of the citron. We use the citron in Jewish religion. In Jewish religion, we have a holiday called Sukkot, in which we take the citron and we bless it for citrus fruit. Okay? So we use this only for religious reasons. Now, because it is only used for religious reasons, there is a rule in religion, in this particular one, that it must not be grafted. You cannot, there's no way to explain it. You can't argue with religion. It just is, okay?
Yes.
So, but it can't be grafted. Look how miserable these trees are compared to the lemons.
Yeah.
And we spend, as farmers, 10 times the effort to make them healthy, because the fruit is sold for a lot of money, much more money than lemon. But we can't, because they're not grafted. Their roots are not good. As you can easily see the difference between grafted lemons and non-grafted citrons.
Yes.
And it's not because it's a bad farmer, it's a very good farmer. Okay, and he spends a lot of money to make them healthy. But you can't, because of the roots. The citrons, we grow them for maybe 15 years, maybe 20 years. They die. On the rootstock, I told you, sometimes 50 and even 60 years. And very fruitful. Okay? You can easily see with your eyes the effect of grafting. Okay guys, let's go to the bus. We'll have some lunch and we'll continue in class.
Tour is over. Bye!
Citron.
Citron guys. Alis na kami.
Nagutan namin yung citron.
Pero hindi kami binigyan. Akala namin matatry namin. Why? Yung ganito na siya.
Ayan, body grafting.
Yeah. Very small compared to others. Nakakatakot dito. Open masyado.
Okay guys, first of all, please don't eat the oranges in the bus, okay? You can have them for lunch. Second of all, I hope you all enjoyed the tour. Any questions that you have from the tour, anything you want, okay? Take good advantage of the time that we have, because when it's done, 3 o'clock is the exam. Okay, so if
Kailangan i-ready ko yung camera ko.